Welcome viewers, you are watching my YouTube channel BioHub and I'm your facilitator Dr. Seema Sharma. We are on chapter number 10, Respiration in Organisms. We are covering this chapter part-wise and in this video I have covered its fourth part, which is about types of respiration and certain experimental activities related to respiration. My BioHub videos are watched by a number of students who are studying from NCERT as well as books of other publications like Learn to Explore and Living Science. So I have gone through the content of all these books and on the content is more or less same, and on the basis of the content this chapter is divisible basically into 5 parts. I have already uploaded videos related to first 4 segments of this chapter, and for detail you can watch those videos on my channel BioHub. In this video, I'm going to cover fifth and the last segment of this chapter, which is about the types of respiration. This is the overview of the content of this video. In this video, you're going to explore first about the types of respiration and second, activities related to respiration. So viewers, stay tuned. Watch this video till the end. Let's together explore about the concluding part of this chapter. Let's learn biology. So let's start with the first objective, which is about the types of respiration. Types of respiration here, we have basically two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. First, let's know about aerobic respiration. Till now, you have a basic idea about the process of respiration. So let's decode the meaning of this term, aerobic respiration. Respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. And during aerobic respiration, the food, which is glucose, it is oxidized to produce carbon dioxide, water, and there is release of energy. And you're familiar with the examples of aerobic respiration too. Aerobic respiration is carried out in almost all plants and animals. So this is about aerobic respiration. But viewers, there are certain organisms and there are certain conditions where the cells, they do respiration in the absence of oxygen, and that is what our second type of respiration is all about. Anaerobic respiration. Respiration that takes place in the absence of oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. Some organisms like yeast, they can live without oxygen and they can do respiration without oxygen. So here glucose is broken down into alcohol, carbon dioxide without using oxygen. The energy is released in both type of respiration. However, the amount of energy given out in anaerobic respiration is much less than in aerobic respiration. You know that human beings, we are aerobic. We do aerobic respiration. We need oxygen. But if I'll tell you that children, sometimes few cells of our body, they undergo anaerobic respiration. Do you believe that? Yes, children. In some situations, few of our body cells, they also go for anaerobic respiration. Isn't it interesting? So let's explore about that. Have you ever thought, children, that why do we get cramps because of heavy exercise? When we are going for heavy exercise, running, tracking, we are getting pain. We are getting muscle cramps. So they are because during that period, our muscles, they are not getting sufficient amount of oxygen for the breakdown of glucose to release carbon dioxide, water, and produce energy. At that situation, to get the additional energy in the absence of oxygen, anaerobic respiration occurs within our muscle cells, and this leads to breakdown of glucose into lactic acid and there is release of energy, very small amount of energy. So that energy is utilized by the athlete or the runner for doing that activity, but this lactic acid, it gets accumulated in our body, in our muscles. So that's why we get muscular cramps after heavy exercises. So how we can get rid of these muscular cramps? Let's understand that also. So these muscular cramps, they can go away with a gentle massage and by taking hot water bath. But why do these cramps go away by massaging or taking hot water bath? Let's understand that also. Both these activities, they improve circulation of blood in the body, leading to increase in the supply of oxygen. So this results in complete breakdown of lactic acid into carbon dioxide water, and hence you get relief from those muscle cramps. So now my viewers know what is the reason of muscular cramps after heavy exercise and what are the simple ways to get a relief from these muscle cramps. Let's try to revise the same terms with the help of one tabulated account. Differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. First difference. In aerobic respiration, presence of oxygen is must, whereas in case of anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not required. Second point, in case of aerobic respiration, food, that is glucose, it is oxidized to produce carbon dioxide water, whereas in case of anaerobic respiration, glucose is partially broken to produce ethanol and carbon dioxide in case of microorganism like yeast, and in case of human muscle cells, it is converted into lactic acid. Third point of difference is lot of energy is released during aerobic respiration and a very less amount of energy is released during anaerobic respiration. Examples of aerobic respiration is most of the plants and animals, they go for aerobic respiration, whereas there are few bacteria and one fungi which is yeast. They can be the examples of anaerobic respiration. With this, we are through with our first objective, which was about types of respiration. So, dear budding explorers, now it's time for activity. And the first experimental investigation is to prove that carbon dioxide is released during respiration. So in this experimental setup, we have 3 glass tubes, 1 conical flask. It's an airtight experimental setup. In test tube A, we have taken potassium hydroxide solution. In test tube B, we have taken lime water. In conical flask, we have taken germinating pea seeds, and in test tube C, again lime water is present. Now this experimental setup is connected to a suction pump. So when we will switch on the suction pump, it will start sucking the air and the air will start coming to test tube A. From this, it will move to test tube B, and like that, it will move out through the suction pump. Now coming to the steps of demonstrating this experimental setup. Germinate the pea seeds by soaking them in water overnight. Place germinated pea seeds in the conical flask. Start the suction pump and let the air flow through the apparatus. As the air passes through test tube A, which is containing potassium hydroxide solution, this solution will absorb all the carbon dioxide gas present in the incoming air. So this air, which is now devoid of carbon dioxide gas, goes forward to test tube B. The air entering test tube B passes through lime water, but no change is noticed in the color of lime water. Had carbon dioxide gas been present in the air, lime water would have turned milky white. But there is no change in color of lime water. This confirms that there is no CO2 in the air that has entered in test tube B. This air, which is devoid of all carbon dioxide gas, leaves test tube B and enters the conical flask, which contains the germinated pea seeds. The germinated pea seeds utilize this air in carrying out respiration. Now, this air further moves from conical flask and enters test tube C, which contains lime water. As the air passes through the lime water in test tube C, the lime water turns milky white in color. So on the basis of these observations, we can conclude that carbon dioxide gas was being produced in the conical flask which had germinated seeds in it. This gas moved from conical flask and entered into test tube C. So with the help of this experimental setup, we can prove that during respiration, carbon dioxide gas is released. Now coming to second and equally interesting activity related to respiration only. Aim to show that heat is released during respiration. To carry out this activity, we need certain items, and the items required are bean seeds, 2 thermos flasks, 2 thermometers, and cotton wool. Now steps. First step is to germinate the bean seeds, and for that you have to soak bean seeds overnight, and in the morning you have to drain excess of water and let them germinate. So these are the sprouted bean seeds or germinating bean seeds. In the second step, boil half of the germinated seeds. Boiling stops further growth of these seeds. Now let the boiled bean seeds cool down. In step 4, take 2 thermos flasks and label these as A and B. This is the cross section of these 2 thermal flasks. Now put the normal germinating seeds in flask A and boiled germinated seeds in flask B as shown here. Next step is to cover the mouth of both the flasks with moist cotton wool and insert a thermometer in each flask. Thereafter, keep the flask upside down as shown in the figure and monitor the temperature in both the flasks. And lastly, you have to record the temperature reading of each thermometer kept in each flask daily for at least a week and compare the readings. An observation will be there is a gradual rise in temperature in flask A, which is containing germinating seeds, whereas on the other hand, there is no rise in temperature in flask B, which had boiled germinated seeds. So on the basis of these two observations, we can conclude that rise in temperature in flask A, which is containing germinating bean seeds, proves that these germinating seeds, they are doing respiration and heat is released during respiration. So with the help of this simple activity, we can demonstrate or we can prove that heat is released during respiration. So that's it for this video. And now it's time to summarize the content of this video. In this video, our first objective was to know about two types of respiration. They are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. The second objective of this video was two experimental activities, and with the help of those two demonstrations, we can prove that carbon dioxide or CO2 is released during respiration and heat is also evolved during respiration. Now it's time to go for self-assessment with the help of these three questions. I suggest you viewers to go through these questions. They will help you to prepare this segment of the chapter for your annual examination, and this will also help you to prepare for the competitive exams. Next time, whenever you will tune into my channel BioHub, I'm going to start chapter number 11, that is transportation in plants and animals. And in that, I'm going to cover its first part, which is about transportation in animals. This chapter is very interesting and very important from annual examination point of view as well as from competitive point of view. So I want you to join me there also. So with this, it's time to wind up this video. I want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel, supporting BioHub, and coming up with your suggestions in the comment section. If you are a new viewer, I welcome you and I suggest you to please do subscribe to my channel. It will help you to enrich your understanding about biology with me. So viewers, if you're finding the content of BioHub videos worth clearing your doubts, then please do subscribe to BioHub. If you're liking the content, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and do share the link of BioHub with your fellow friends. Let's learn together, let's share the knowledge. So with this, I'm signing out. It's a bio bye from your facilitator, Dr. Seema Sharma. But please do stay tuned to my channel and keep exploring about biology with me. Do take good care of yourself. Hope to see you soon in my next video. Till then, bye bye.